Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video might be seen and shared. Saloon Driver once again, coming to you with a very special unboxing and review of a watch that is finally mine. And as I go through this story, you will understand why I say it is finally mine. It is finally here. This is a convoluted story. It's a masterclass in patience and a beautiful example of why I don't bother with watch campaigns on Kickstarter or Indiegogo anymore. As the line from a movie goes, the juice is not worth the squeeze, as far as I'm concerned, with respect to Kickstarter style campaigns, and that will become clear in a moment. But first I want to show the watch because I really liked this watch. I like the design of it. I like the concept of it. I was fortunate enough 3 years ago to review the prototype of this watch that was loaned into me by the owner of Iconic, Ivan, who, full and fair disclosure, I considered him a friend. I was number 4 backer of 75 backers on his Kickstarter campaign. I was very happy with the prototype. I was very proud to review it. I believed in the project strongly and promoted it on my channel. And ultimately, I didn't get it. And neither did anybody else, for that matter. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But first, the watch. And you see that the case that it came in says Smith and Bradley, not Iconic. There's a reason for that. Now, also full and fair disclosure, I don't have all the facts. I don't have Smith and Bradley's side of the story. I've reached out to them. I've even emailed them. I was in an email correspondence with a lady I will not name in their customer service department. She told me ultimately that the company has changed owners and they're a little short-staffed, and she doesn't want to talk about this. She wants the owner to talk about it. I'm waiting to hear from the owner or owners. Now, today is August 23rd, 2023. The email back and forth between me and the lady has been going on for about a week. I haven't heard from them as of this time. If I hear from them, which I have some doubts, but I'm hoping that she's as good as her word. If I do hear from them, I will make a subsequent video giving their side, but I didn't want to wait anymore for this video. The facts that I have on this whole thing come mostly from a couple of Facebook groups and people who were involved in the purchase program that Smith and Bradley started up, and I'll get to that later. But for now, inside the Smith & Bradley box is the long-lost Iconic Halocline, formerly named the Hampton Bay. I'm going to leave a link to the review I did of the prototype, and you will see the prototype looks very much like this one, only with a not-so-nice bracelet. It does say Hampton Bay on it. I think I remember that correctly. If you want to, I'll leave a link to that video in the description if you want to look at it. But 3 years after I backed the program, the campaign in 2020, I now have my Halocline Blue. There were 4 colorways, blue, green, kind of a pinkish tan color, and I forgot I think the other one was black. I don't remember. It's not important. I finally have the watch. Now, this watch came to me thanks to a gentleman on one of the Facebook groups, one of the two Facebook groups that was dealing with the aftermath of the iconic meltdown, which I'll get to. He doesn't want me to use his name because he doesn't want to be associated with the iconic brand, and I understand that. He bought two of these watches at the discounted price, and I'll get to that. They're both blue. He was keeping one, and he was giving the other one to a gentleman as a thank you gift for, and I love this story, for giving him a kidney. The gentleman who bought the two watches was dying. He needed a kidney transplant, and his friend was a match, gave him a kidney, and God bless them both. They're both doing well. He was going to give him this watch as a gift. The donor said the watch, he didn't like the look of the watch, and he declined, and I, about the same time on that Facebook group, have been kind of saying, gee, I'd like to get one of these, even if I had to pay again for it. I'd like to get one of these finally. I mean, I was supposed to get one, and I would like to have the watch even 3 years later. And he reached out to me, and we consummated a deal, and I now have my long-lost Halocline. Now, what is Halocline? I have no idea. It's a made-up word as far as I know, but the watch is here. Still branded iconic. Smith & Bradley did not rebrand the watch. Beautiful bezel action. I remember the prototype having pretty good bezel action, though this one is just as good, maybe better. Now, this Fume dial was, back in 2020, it was not something you saw, if at all, a lot of. Now others have done this design. It's not as unique as it was back in 2020, but it still looks great. I love the white bezel insert, the coin edge bezel, which I'm a fool for the coin edge bezel. Matching crown, oversized crown, signed, of course. Signed clasp, as you saw. Date window at the 4 o'clock. Sapphire crystal, flat sapphire crystal. 316L stainless all around. The bracelet is held together by screws. Plenty of micro adjust. It's a twin lock. You pop it open. It's a milled clasp. It's good quality. I have this set in the middle of the micro adjust. It snaps closed. Fold lock snaps over it. It ain't going anywhere. Very simple design on the back. Others have written about the watch on Facebook and said that the bracelet is jingle jangly. I respectfully disagree. I don't find it to be any worse than anything coming out of Seiko or Citizen or Casio, or hell, old Rolexes for that matter. You know, it works. It's not 904L stainless steel personally milled out by Mr. and Mrs. Rolex themselves, but yeah, it's a good solid bracelet. It works well. I'll give you a wrist shot. Snap it closed, close it up. And on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, this watch fits perfectly. Short lugs, they drop away from the case very quickly. From coming off the case, they drop down very short and works beautifully. It's a big watch, though. I mean, it's big around, and it does not have a big lug to lug, but it is a big around watch. So this watch may not be good for, say, something under a 6 3/4 inch wrist, but it will fit a variety of wrists. And you can see it's a very simple dial. It's a fume white fading into dark blue as you go out to the outer edges. It's a very clean design. I think, I told Ivan back then when he designed it, I think he hit it out of the park, and I still think he hit it out of the park. I think he did a great job designing the watch. Nice integrated crown guards. The lugs do kick out from the case a bit, and the integrated bracelet fits very well in them. I think it might look a little strange if you put a strap on there. You still have these kickouts, so that might look a little weird, but I'm not going to change it off the bracelet anyway, so I'm not really worried about that. It is a 43 millimeter case. The bezel does hang over the case just slightly, but it is 43 millimeter. I measured all these myself. You can't get that information easily online right now. 49.6 millimeter tip to tip, 22 millimeter lug, 13.2 millimeter thick to that flat crystal, 200 meter water resistant. It is a screw down crown. It does disengage with an audible and tactile pop. 2-position crown. First position allows the setting of the date. Second position hacks the movement. And you can set the time, push it all back in. And these threads are a little difficult to engage. But there it goes. There we go. Works nice. SW200-1 Swiss movement, which, considering the price at the time for this watch, a Swiss movement watch under $500 was pretty good. It is a 120 click bezel. It's unidirectional. It does lock in place very nicely. It has a good sound to it. It feels great. And once you lock it in place, I overdid it. My OCD would not allow me to leave it that way. So once you lock it in place, I did it again. There you go, right there. Beautiful watch. Now, the story. And I will try to be brief, but it is, as I said, this was a Kickstarter campaign from Ivan at Iconic Watches back in 2020. I backed the minute it went live, I backed the campaign. I was backer number 4, and I checked that on the record in Kickstarter. It still shows that I was backer number 4. Ultimately, 75 people backed the project. The watch was super early bird special was $452 plus $7 shipping. I think the early bird special was slightly higher than that. The campaign actually funded to 100% very quickly. And we waited. I mean, this is the part about Kickstarter. You back a campaign, doesn't mean you're going to get the watch. I mean, I ran into that several times backing Filippo Loretti, a couple other ones that I can't remember their names. I did, there were successes too. There was a watch I backed that had that was a slide rule watch, and that backed, and I eventually got the watch. But unfortunately, with this watch, things went sideways. Now, I don't have all the details of what happened when. That's why I'm trying to get a hold of Smith and Bradley, because I know they were involved in this. But Ivan, now, I can only tell the Ivan part of the story from my perspective. Other people have their opinions of Ivan. I have my opinion of Ivan. I don't have a problem with Ivan. I have no axe to grind. I always felt he was my friend. I felt he was shooting straight with me. He ran into some serious health problems. He spent a good number of weeks or even months in the hospital with some kind of respiratory thing. I don't know if it was COVID or not. It was right around the time that COVID was a thing. I don't know if that's what happened to him, but something happened to him, and the eye got taken off the ball, if you will. Then something went wrong with what he at the time called his investors. Now, there were messages about this on the Kickstarter campaign, and if you want to go look up the Kickstarter campaign and read the messages and the updates, you can. But something along the lines went wrong with the investors, and the watches ultimately were produced but held back and not delivered. That's the part I don't know about. That's the part I'm trying to get from Smith and Bradley. I'm hoping they can shed light on this. Promises were made for refunds. I don't know if anyone was refunded or not by Ivan. All I know is I wasn't. Now, you could argue, well, Flea Driver, you were backer number 4. You should have been the 4th person to get your money back. Logically, yes. But he may have not refunded anybody. He may have refunded other people before and ran out of money. I don't know. I only can tell you folks what I know, and that's what I know. I wasn't refunded. I don't know if anyone else was. If anyone was, comment below. If anybody else wasn't, comment below. And all I know is there were 75 people, me and 74 of my fellow watch enthusiasts, that never got their watches. Fast forward to 2023. I mostly had forgotten about the damn watch. I reconciled the fact I was never going to get the watch. I was never going to get my money back. Lesson learned, blah, blah, blah. I ran into some posts quite randomly on a couple of Facebook groups. I think one of them was Watch Gang, Watch Gang Unfiltered and Unaffiliated or something like that, of people that were putting up pictures of this watch and the other colorways. And I said, what the hell? And I started reading, and it turns out that Smith and Bradley had the watches. Whatever supply there was that were produced, they had them. And they were selling them at the stories vary, but somewhere between $100 and $120 a piece. And they had put up a web page or something, and they had a discount code or something. I never saw the web page. I never saw the discount code. I never saw any of that. I don't know if it really existed. All I know is they put up a page on their site and sold watches. And people jumped at the chance that didn't back the program, jumped at the chance of buying a Swiss Movement watch for $100 or $150. Who wouldn't? I can't blame them for that. What I can blame Smith and Bradley for was not reaching out to the 75 backers. I mean, it would not be a very difficult thing to find out who we were. Kickstarter should have been able to provide that information. And contact us and say, hey, we have the watches. We're going to sell them at a deep discount. Do you want first shot? And I, for one, would have said, hell yeah. And if you got extra ones, give me a green one too. That's neither here nor there. I was never given the shot, and as far as I know, nobody else who backed the project was. And that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Now, I can't really be mad at Smith and Bradley yet because I don't know their side of the story. I hope I will. And if I find out, like I said, I'll make a video of it. But I was never contacted. I never got the opportunity to buy the watch at $100 or so. And they all sold out. And I, lamented on Facebook groups that I missed my chance. And, a few people offered to sell me a watch at ridiculous. I think one guy reached out to me and said, I'll sell you the watch for $500. I said, no. Another guy said, $300. No. Some people lamented with me that they never got their chance. And finally, the guy who ultimately sold me the watch at a price I could live with. And I thank him for that. And if he wants to comment below and reveal who he is, go ahead. If he doesn't, I certainly understand that. But I am grateful for him, and I thank him. And I thank Smith and Bradley for putting the watches up for sale in the first place. While I can be a little salty about, you didn't contact me or, as far as I know, anybody else who backed the program and give us first shot at the watches, hey, at least you put them out there. You didn't just, grind them up into donkey dust and throw them away and salvage the movements for something else. You sold them, and indirectly I got the opportunity to get the watch. And now I have the watch that I bought 3 years ago. And I got this watch. It was mummified. It had never been sized. It had never been worn. It still had the plastics top and bottom, and on the bracelets you can see no scratches, no desktop diving, nothing. It was in perfect shape. And it's keeping excellent time. I believe I put on my time grapher, I think it's plus 3 seconds a day. So overall, I'm very happy. I got the watch I wanted 3 years ago. I got a hell of a story to tell, as you can see. Now, and admittedly, my story is not as complete as I'd like it to be. If anyone else can fill in factual gaps, or if I've made a mistake, please comment down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. And I'd love to know what other people's perspectives are. But for now, I'm going to wrap the video up, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the story. I enjoyed telling it. And I hope you like the watch. I do. If you did all that, please click that thumbs up button for me. The thumbs up button does help with YouTube search algorithms and helps bring people to the channel. And I am all about bringing people to the channel and getting this channel to grow. As I said, comments, questions, suggestions, additions, subtractions, down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to troll me, or try, you won't succeed, but you can try. You're going to try to insult me, or you're going to leave links to bad places on the internet, I will simply delete the comment and block the commenter. By the way, if you have a link, still active link, to the web page that listed this watch for sale, please put that in the comments. I would love to go take a look at it. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. I do express my gratitude that you're here. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll watch many videos. I have nearly 1,000 at this point. All I ask in return for watching all this good stuff is that you click that subscribe button and click the bell icon too, so that when I upload new material or I do a live stream, you will be alerted. And as I always say at the end of my videos, it is a crazy old world out there. It is not getting any less crazy, so please be careful out there. Stay safe, be well. See you soon.